Hi, good evening.
Yeah.
So can I get your full name?
Omar Miguel.
Mr. Miguel, I am seeing you this evening on charges of attempted robbery and prohibited possessor. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated next to you for today's hearing. I have reviewed all of the information, including the state's recommendation of a $10,000 bond. And I understand that Mr. Miguel is being held without bond on a probation hold. Anyhow, I'll hear from defense if you'd like to be heard.
Just briefly, Your Honor, given the adult probation hold, we are asking for a slight reduction in the state's recommendation. Mr. Miguel is 16. He is low on the FTA scales. He was assessed at a level 1 for what it's worth. He's a lifelong resident with a stable and verified residence with mom, and he is a student. But again, given the adult probation hold, he certainly is not leaving here anytime soon. So I would ask for a reduction in the state's recommendation.
I'll order the $10,000 period released to pretrial if posted. Monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial, no firearms or weapons, no contact with alleged victims, and preliminary hearing date is scheduled for June 16th. All right.
And Your Honor, I
Yes.
apologize. Morgan Mahalik for the state. Are we going to address 8-305?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
The state is requesting he's housed at the adult facility.
Okay. And did defense want to be heard on that?
Your Honor, obviously my preference is that he is not housed at the adult facility given his age. I don't think that it's appropriate, but I suppose we will defer to the court. I'm simply not ready to make an opinion.
The court has considered the factors in 8305, and it'll be ordered that Mr. Miguel remain at the Pima County Adult Detention Facility. All right. All right. That's all, sir. You're excused.
Good.
Yeah,
Hi, ma'am. Can I get your full name?
I see Mitchell.
Ms. Mitchell, I'm seeing you this evening on a charge of assault. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Let's see. Ma'am, I see that you're being held currently on felony charges. Let's see. Looks like you've got a $1,000 bond in your Superior Court matter. On this new assault charge, I'm going to order a $500 cash or secured bond. I'm going to appoint Caitlin Waters to represent you, and your hearing is going to be on Monday, June 9th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon in Justice Court. All right, and that's all for tonight. You're excused.
Oh, excellent.
Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
Yes, hi. How are you today?
I'm good.
My name is good. Awesome. Thank you for that. My name is Cruz Armando Moran Tapia.
All right, Mr. Moron Tapia, I'm seeing you this evening because you have a warrant for your arrest for a charge of assault out of Pima County Justice Court. Did you know that you had that case hanging out there?
No, I was not aware of it, man. Judge,
Okay. Where are you living?
I'm living at my mom's house temporarily.
What's the address there?
4444 East Benson Highway, Tucson, Arizona, 85706.
Is it apartment 169?
Unit trailer 169.
Okay. Great. If I release you, sir, are you going to get to court? I'm going to give you a new court date.
Yes, I will.
All right. All right. I'm going to order that you be released on your promise to appear in court. I don't know anything about that assault charge, but I'm just going to order that you not have any contact with any alleged victims. And then you need to get to court. For some reason, they all say 6/5 in the updates, but it should be 6/16, right? 15 at 8:30. Okay, no worries. All right, so your hearing is going to be in 10 days. It's on June 16th at 8:30 in the morning in Pima County Justice Court. You need to get to that hearing so that another warrant doesn't issue for your arrest. You understand?
I totally understand this time.
All right, good. You're excused.
Am I being released right now?
Yep.
Huh? Yeah. Oh, great.
Hi, ma'am. Can I get your full name?
Esperanza, Guadalupe Nabor Orantes.
Ms. Nabor Orantes, I'm seeing you this evening on a few different matters that you have going on. You've got warrants for your arrest, one out of Pima County Justice Court for a 2022 shoplifting, and then a charge of failure to appear. And then you've got some cases out of Tucson City Court that are also in warrant status, one going back to 2017, one from 2023, and one from 2024. And those involve assault, criminal tampering, criminal trespass, drug paraphernalia, and this 2017 case must be the minor in possession. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. All right, on the justice court matter, I'm ordering that you be held on a $500 cash or secured bond. And I will appoint an attorney for you there. That'll be Janet Altschuler. And your hearing is going to be set for Monday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. If you post your bond, you need to make sure you get to that hearing on Monday. If you do not post your bond, if you're still in custody, they'll take you to a video hearing on that day.
So I won't be released today.
Not unless you post the bonds, because I'm going to hold you on a bond on the city court matter as well. So on that one, I'm also holding you on a $500 cash or secured bond. So your total bonds will be $1,000 cash or secured. On the city court matters, I'm going to appoint the city public defender's office to represent you. And then your hearing there. Let's see. I'm not seeing her sheet in here. So it'll be June 13th at 1:45 p.m. Again, oh, that's video review, right? So I need an Date 2. Mayhew.
No, I'm sorry, but like, I have,
Just a second, ma'am.
okay.
July what? Okay. All right, so your city court date is going to be on June 13th at 1:45. That's if you're in custody still. If you are out of custody, then your court date will be on July 9th at 2:00 in the afternoon. All right, ma'am, that's all. You're excused.
Okay, I can't say anything real fast.
Well, I've made my decision, so.
Okay.
Hey, sir, can I get your full name?
My name is Philip Navarro.
Mr. Navarro, I'm seeing you this evening on a few different matters. One second. You've got some warrants and you've got some new charges. Your new charges are shoplifting and drug paraphernalia. And then you've got a warrant out of South Tucson for shoplifting from November 7th of 2024. And then you have several cases out of Tucson City Court. One from 2022, two from 2023, two from 2024, and then new charges. That's the new charges, the shoplifting and drug paraphernalia charges. All right, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. I do see, sir, that you are being held also on a felony hold without bond. I'm not seeing you on that. You're going to be seen in Superior Court separately on that, I would guess sometime in the next week or so.
Well, hospital, court date, the court date of the stand. So I have the police air failure. I called my lawyer and told him I haven't heard from him back. I told him what happened.
All right, well, like I said, I'm not going to see you on the felony. You're going to be seen in Superior Court on that sometime in the next week or so. You're being held without bond on that case, and there's nothing I can do about that.
Okay.
On your city court, I'm sorry, on your Tucson, South Tucson City Court case, I'm going to order that you be released. Your hearing there is going to be on June 24th at 10 o'clock in the morning. I will note that you're in custody on the felony, so if you're still in custody on that date, they'll take you to a video hearing. If you're out of custody, you need to be in South Tucson on that date so that another warrant doesn't issue for your arrest. And then on your city court matters, I will also order that you be released, but note that you're in custody on the felony. I will appoint the city public defender's office to represent you, and we'll set your hearing there for August 8th at 9 o'clock in the morning. If you are in custody, that'll be a non-transport review. If you are out of custody, you need to be in city court on that date. All right, you're going to get paperwork with all of that information on it. All right, you're excused. Hey, sir, can I get your full name, please? I'm sorry?
I said Jeffrey King.
Sorry, I couldn't think of it.
I'm having a hard time hearing you. I'm sorry, because there's some background noise. And I didn't have it doesn't look like you had given the jail your name, so I need to hear clearly what your name is. Yes, Jesse King. And how do you spell it? Jasee. Okay, and what's your date of birth? June 28th, 96. And King is K-I-N-G? K-I-E-N? The jail didn't have that information previously, did you? I'm asking, sorry, sir, I'm asking the jail.
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right, so now that we have that information, sir, I'm gonna need to continue your hearing to tomorrow morning so that your name can be run. So you'll be seen tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna see you tomorrow morning. All right? All right, that's all, sir.
Clark,
Do you need me to do anything or can I just give you this? Yeah. Okay. Hi, ma'am. Can I get your full name?
under Renee Clark.
Ms. Clark, I'm seeing you this morning on charges of domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and knowingly touching a person with intent to injure, insult, or provoke. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. I am going to enter pleas of not guilty for you at this time and advise you that you're ordered to appear at all of your hearings. If you miss your hearings, they can go forward in your absence. Warrants can issue for your arrest, and if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. So ma'am, I am going to order that you be released on your promise to appear in court. I'm ordering that you commit no further acts of domestic violence. And I'm ordering that you have no contact of any kind with any victims. I understand one of them at least is a woman, I think it's a woman named Sherry. And I think you were roommates with the victims. And so you're not going to be able to go back to that residence at this time. You've got somewhere else to go.
No, I don't. Everything I own is in that house.
So I am going to put,
Everything in the house is mine.
I am going to put in my order that you can return one time with a law enforcement escort to collect your personal belongings. So you're going to have to find somewhere else to go. As long as they are at the residence, you cannot go back there.
The house they can go to.
So if
She
they,
does.
if they go to another house, then you can go back there. But in the meantime, if they're still there, you cannot go there. That's the way it works.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
So you would take my court order to the nearest police station, whatever the nearest police station is to the residence, and they'll go with you to get your things. And
So-
then you
Will
need,
they,
sorry?
guys can say, will they stay while I get everything out of that house?
Yes.
Okay.
And then you need to be in Tucson City Court on July 7th at 9:30 in the morning. You're going to get paperwork with all of that information on it. All right.
Thank
ma'am?
you.
You're excused. You're welcome.
Peterson?
Hello, Your Honor.
Hi, ma'am. Can I get your full name?
My name is Adrian Yvette Peterson.
Ms. Peterson, I'm seeing you this evening because you have a warrant for your arrest out of Tucson City Court for domestic violence, assault, and disorderly conduct charges from 2023. It looks like you were last in court on this in December. And I think you've been in and out on this case at least a couple of times before, but you haven't been going to court. So what's going on that you're not getting to court to deal with this?
I had a nervous breakdown at the time that I came for the pretrial. The police brought me to pretrial and they released me. I walked to California and I went into a mental hospital. And then I came back here and went to a mental hospital. And I've gotten my shot. I was homeless. I just put down, I got a job. I've been working and I've been taking my medication on, and I'm getting an apartment, but I need to be there to get it this week.
Okay. All right. Who are you working with to get an apartment?
Home Inc.
Okay.
And I put the paperwork for the apartment. I'm getting it this week.
And where
But I need to
are you
get it.
staying in the meantime?
I'm staying at 4042 South Second Avenue
Who are you staying there with?
with my best friend.
Okay. All right. So if I release you, you're going to get to your court date?
Yes, I promise you I will.
All right. I'm going to order that you be released on your promise to appear in court, order that you commit no acts of domestic violence, you have no contact of any kind with any alleged victims. And your hearing in Tucson City Court is on July 7th at 2:00 in the afternoon. You have to get to that hearing, okay?
I will. This cannot happen again.
Okay. All right. That's all, ma'am. You're excused.
Thank you. I'll see you.
Hey, sir, can I get your full name? Mr. Salcido, I'm seeing you this evening because you have a couple of warrants for your arrest. They are out of Tucson City Court. One is for resisting arrest and drug paraphernalia from July 2nd of 2024. And then the other is for criminal trespass from February 9th of this year. And then you've got a couple of failures to appear on that one. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. So, sir, how come you're not getting to court?
Well, I don't know. I just haven't been. I've been doing other things and been busy. I've been meaning to go to court, but I just really can't get there in time.
If I release you, are you going to find a way to get there?
Yeah, of course.
All right. I'm going to order that you be released on your promise to appear in court.
Okay.
That hearing is on July 3rd at 1:30 in the afternoon. You're going to get paperwork with that information on it. You need to make sure you get to city court on that date, because if you end up arrested again with more warrants, it's very unlikely you're going to keep getting out without a bond. All right.
Okay.
All right. You're excused. Hi, ma'am. Can I get your full name?
Your Honor, yeah, my name is Vanessa Sheila Anderson, but I had my old ID, that's why it says Valenzuela.
Okay, it looks like they figured that out. So, Ms. Anderson, I'm seeing you this evening on a charge of domestic violence, disorderly conduct. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. I am going to enter a plea of not guilty for you at this time and advise you that you're ordered to appear at all of your hearings. If you miss your hearings, they can go forward in your absence. Warrants can issue for your arrest. And if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. So obviously we have the alleged victim on the line there. Mr. Anderson, did you want to be heard on your wife's release conditions?
Yes, please.
Okay, go ahead.
This was just all a misunderstanding. I think we just need to work on our marriage, and if Your Honor, if you can offer any resources for us to do that, I would greatly appreciate it. We love each other very much, and we both want to work on our marriage.
Right. So I'm just deciding release conditions today. I don't unfortunately have any particular resources to give you at this time, but I'm going to give you a court date where you're going to go see Judge Millian, and she should have she'll have some ideas for you, okay? So for now, ma'am, I'm going to order that you be released on your promise to appear in court, order that you commit no further acts of domestic violence, and that hearing in Tucson City Court will be on July 15th at 1:30 in the afternoon.
Oh,
All right?
thank you, Your Honor.
All right, that's all, ma'am. You're excused. Thank you, sir, for being here.
I'm so sorry.
We have our interpreter on the line.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hi, ma'am. Can I get your full name, please?
Yesenia Garcia?
Oh, do you need an interpreter?
No.
Okay. All right. Ms. Garcia, I'm seeing you this evening on a couple of different matters. You have felony charges of possession of narcotic drug, possession of drug paraphernalia, and 2 counts of weapons misconduct. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You've got counsel seated next to you for this evening's hearing. So I have reviewed all of the information, including the state's recommendation of a $5,000 bond. I'll hear from defense.
Your Honor, I am asking for a release or a lower bond. Mrs. Garcia was assessed at a level 2. This was ultimately deemed a non-violent event. She has one prior. They are different charges. She does not appear to fall high on the NCA or FTA scales. She has lived in Tucson for many years, and she is currently homeless. However, pretrial services was able to get in contact with her mother, who indicated that she would be able to support her and bring her to her court hearings. For those reasons, Your Honor, I am asking for release or a significant reduction in the state's ask.
On the felony matter, I'm going to order a $2,500 bond. It'll be cash or secured. Release to pretrial services if that bond is posted. Monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons. And preliminary hearing date is scheduled for June 16th. And then I also have a warrant out of Tucson City Court. This is for domestic violence interfering with judicial proceedings from a 2021 case. On that matter, I'm going to order a $500 cash or secured bond. I will appoint the city public defender. And the hearing in city court will be on June 16th at 1:45 with Judge Blue. All right. That is all. You're excused. Hey, sir, can I get your full name?
Hola, señora, ¿me puede dar su nombre completo?
Carlos Arturo Falcón González.
Carlos Arturo Falcón González.
Sir, I am seeing you this evening on a charge of domestic violence assault.
Señor, lo estoy viendo esta noche por un cargo de violencia intrafamiliar y agresión.
You do have the right to
Sí.
remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Y el derecho a guardar silencio. Todo lo que usted diga se puede y se usará en su contra.
Sir, pretrial services did speak with the alleged victim, your wife, and she does not object to your release from custody.
Señor, la agencia previas al juicio se puso en contacto con la presunta víctima, en este caso su esposa, y ella no se opone a que lo dejen salir en libertad.
And I do see that you have no prior criminal history.
Y veo que no tiene ningún antecedente penal previo.
So, sir, I am going to order that you be released on your promise to appear in court.
Entonces voy a ordenar que lo dejen salir con su bajo promesa de presentarse ante la corte.
And I'm ordering that you commit no acts of domestic violence.
Y ordeno que no cometa ningún acto de violencia intrafamiliar.
You need to be in Pima County Justice Court on June 16th at 10:30 in the morning, or a warrant can issue for your arrest.
Estar en el Tribunal de la Justicia el 16 de junio a las 10:30 de la mañana o se puede emitir una orden por su arresto.
You understand all of that, sir?
¿Entiende todo esto, señor?
Sí. Sí.
Yes. Yes, that's fine.
Okay, you are excused.
Muy bien, señora, se puede retirar.
Hi, sir, can I get your full name?
Hola, señor, ¿me puede dar su nombre completo? Marcos Humberto Galindo Córdoba.
Sí.
That is correct.
Okay, sir, I am seeing you this evening because you have a few cases pending out of Tucson City Court.
Muy bien, señor, estoy viendo esta noche porque usted tiene unos casos todavía pendientes en el Tribunal de la Ciudad.
Those are for criminal trespass and theft from September 14th of 2024.
Estos son por entrada ilícita y hurto del día 14 de septiembre 2024.
Criminal trespass from November 3rd of 2024.
Entrada ilícita del 3 de noviembre 2024.
And criminal trespass and theft from November 4th of 2024.
Y también entrada ilícita y hurto del 4 de noviembre 2024.
You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Tiene el derecho a guardar silencio. Todo lo que usted diga puede y se usará en su contra.
I am going to enter pleas of not guilty for you at this time.
En este momento voy a sentar declaraciones de no culpable a su favor.
And I will advise you that you are ordered to appear at all of your hearings.
Y le informo que usted le ordena que tiene que comparecer en todas sus audiencias.
If you miss your hearings, warrants can issue for your arrest.
Si usted no se presenta a alguna de sus audiencias, se pueden emitir órdenes por su arresto.
And if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal.
Y si a usted lo declaran culpable en un juicio y no puede recibir su condena después de 90 días de haberse declarado culpable, usted puede perder su derecho a una apelación directa.
I was not provided with probable cause for any of these three cases, and so I am going to release you on your promise to appear in court.
A mí no me entregaron motivo justificante con respecto a estos 3 casos, entonces lo voy a dejar salir en libertad bajo palabra que usted se va a presentar en la corte.
You need to be in Tucson City Court on July 8th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or warrants can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Tiene usted que presentarse en la Corte de la Ciudad, Tucson City Court, el 8 de julio a las 2 de la tarde, o si no, se puede emitir una orden por su arresto. ¿Entiende usted esto?
Sí, sí, sí entiendo.
Yes, I do understand.
Okay, that's all, sir. You're excused.
Muy bien, señor, eso ya es todo, ya se puede retirar.
Buenas noches.
Thank you very much.
And thank you,
Yeah,
ma'am.
I did.
Yes.
Thank you, Anna. Have a good night. Interpreter's disconnected.
Thank you, too. Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Antone, I am seeing you this evening on a few different matters. You're charged with some felony charges of unlawful possession of narcotic drug for sale, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia, and then you've got some misdemeanor warrants. We'll deal with those next. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And you've got counsel seated next to you for this evening's hearing. I have reviewed all of the information, including the state's recommendation of a $7,500 bond. I'll hear from defense.
Your Honor, I am asking for a release or a low bond. He is 30 years old and he's currently unemployed. I do understand that he has some pending matters, but there's no criminal history or known convictions at this time. Even just based on the interim complaint, this was a non-violent event. So for those reasons, Your Honor, I am asking for release or for a low bond given his financial inability to pay.
Okay, on the felony charges, I'm going to order a $1,500 cash or secured bond released to pretrial. If that bond is posted, monitoring or treatment is directed. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons. Preliminary hearing is June 16th. All right, and then we've got a warrant out of South Tucson for criminal trespass from 2023. I'm going to order a $250 cash or secured bond on that matter and appoint Michael Vaughn. And hearing in South Tucson will be on Monday at 10 o'clock in the morning. And then Tucson City court cases are drug paraphernalia, criminal trespass from December of 2024, and then criminal trespass from March 22nd of this year. All right, on those matters, I'm going to order release. Note that you're in custody. And so we'll set the hearing for August 8th at 9 o'clock in the morning. If you're in custody, that'll be a non-transport review. If you're out of custody, you need to get to that hearing. And I will appoint the city public defender's office to represent you there. All right, sir, that is all. You're excused. Hey, sir, can I get your full name?
Rayshawn Omar Coburn.
Mr. Coburn, I am seeing you this evening on some new felony matters, 2 counts of kidnapping and 1 count of aggravated assault with a dangerous instrument. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated next to you for this evening's hearing. I've reviewed all of the information, including the state's recommendation of a $10,000 bond. And are you asking for a concurrent or consecutive bond, the state?
They can be concurrent, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. I'll hear from defense.
Your Honor, I just would like a moment to speak with Mr. Coburn.
Sure.
So, Your Honor, I know that the pretrial services report indicated that Mr. Coburn is homeless, but in speaking with him, he actually moved to Tucson for this job and he was moved out here by the company. So he has actually been residing at a hotel. So the narrative that he's homeless isn't exactly accurate. I just wanted to share that information with the court. I will note that Mr. Coburn is 21 years old. He is low on the FTA and NCA scales. He clearly maintains employment, and he has no prior convictions. He certainly does not know the alleged victims in this case. I just think based off of reading the interim complaint, again, he is 21 years old. He has been working this job for 2 to 3 weeks. He thought to some extent, whether or not ultimately his conduct is found to be wrong, that he was working. So for those reasons, Your Honor, I think just particularly given that he's been assessed at a level 1, he does have somewhere to stay, given his age and his financial situation. I am asking for release. If the court is to impose a bond, I would ask for a low bond to run concurrently, but our ask is that he is released to pretrial services.
I'm going to order a $2,500 bond. It'll be cash or secured release to pretrial. If that bond is posted, monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial, no firearms or weapons, no contact with the alleged victims, don't go back to that incident location.
And Your Honor, is that one concurrent bond?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and preliminary hearing date is scheduled for June 16th, but sir, that hearing is very likely not going to happen on that date. You'll get a hearing at a later date. So if you post your bond, make sure that you are in touch with pretrial and with your attorney so that you know when to get to court. You understand?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
All right.
And Your Honor, I apologize. I just have one question. Morgan Mahalik from the state. If he maintains his employment and is requested to continue working at that Fry's, I've
ordered that he not return to that incident location. He can't go back there. My guess is he's not going to be able to maintain his employment because he was an armed guard, and I'm ordering that he not have any firearms or weapons and that he not return to that location. I considered ordering that he not work as a security guard at all. But I think just ordering that he not have any weapons and that he not return to the location. I'm just going to stick with that.
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure that was clear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
San Francisco.
Mr. Francisco, I'm seeing you this evening on a few different matters. You've got a warrant out of Pima County Superior Court for felony charges of criminal trespass and burglary that are alleged to have occurred on September 5th of 2024. And then you've got several warrants out of Pima County Justice Court. We'll deal with those misdemeanors next. As to is you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated next to you for today's hearing. So as to the felonies, it looks like he was released to pretrial, and notice was sent out to a general delivery address, and then he obviously failed to appear at his arraignment. The warrant has a $1,500 bond on it. I'll hear from defense.
Your Honor, Mr. Francisco is 29 years old and he is a lifelong resident. I don't think that the concern here is that he's going to be a flight risk. He's currently unemployed, so any bond imposed, I think, would be very difficult for Mr. Francisco to make. I do believe that we can reasonably assure his appearance in court by giving Mr. Francisco one more opportunity to make it to his next court date. He has no priors. So for those reasons, I'm asking the court to consider a release if the court is uninclined, or not inclined to do that, I should say. I would just ask for a low bond. I know that the state's ask is pretty low, but I suppose I would just ask for something a bit.
All right, on the felony, I'm gonna order a $1,000 bond. It'll be cash or secured. Released to pretrial if posted, monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial. Do not return to the incident location. And arraignment is scheduled for June 13th at 1:30 in Superior Court. And then on these justice court matters, we've got shoplifting from 2022, open container from 2022, and theft and criminal trespass from 2024. On those matters, I'm going to order $250 cash or secured bonds on each of those. I'm going to appoint Amanda Bynum to represent you in justice court. And your hearing there is going to be on Monday, June 9th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you post your bonds, sir, you need to make sure you get to those hearings. Otherwise, you will be brought to those hearings either by video or in person. You understand?
Yes.
All right, you're excused.
Thank you.
Hi, ma'am. Can I get your full name, please?
Brenda Gonzalez Almazan.
Ma'am, I am seeing you this evening on a couple of different matters. It looks like you've got a felony warrant for charges of organized retail theft, fraudulent schemes and artifices, theft, illegally conducting an enterprise, and conspiracy. Those are allegations from January 3rd, 2025 through May 2nd of 2025. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated next to you for today's hearing. There's also some warrants out of Tucson City Court. We will deal with those next. As to the felonies, the state is asking for a $10,000 cash or secured bond. That's the amount that was on the warrant. I'll hear from defense.
Your Honor, I didn't see an interim complaint, so I assume this is a direct indictment. I would note that Mrs. Gonzalez Almazan, this is her first time being seen in the Superior Court matter. This was also assessed at a nonviolent event, excuse me. She is 39 years old and a lifelong Tucson resident. On pretrial services, was in touch with her daughter, who stated that she could offer some support. Her two priors indicate a substance use disorder, which may be prevalent, but I'm asking for release or a low bond, again, given that this is her first time being seen on these charges.
Right, I'll order a $7,500 bond. It'll be cash or secured, released to pretrial if posted, monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial. No contact with any victims. And arraignment is scheduled for June 13th at 1:30. And then the Tucson City Court matters are a theft by control from February 19th of 2024 and criminal trespass from January 15th of this year. On those matters, I'm going to order release, but I'll note that you're in custody on the felony. I will appoint the city public defender's office to represent you, and we'll set your hearing for August 8th at 9 o'clock in the morning. If you're in custody, that'll be a non-transport review. If you're out of custody, you need to get to that hearing, or warrants will issue for your arrest. Ma'am, that is all. You're excused. Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
Gerardo Martinez Gutierrez.
Mr. Gutierrez, I'm seeing you this evening on a charge of criminal trespass. In the first degree, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You do have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated next to you for this evening's hearing. So, sir, the seat's okay with you being released to pretrial services, so that's what I'm going to order. So you're going to need to check in with them when you get out. And your hearing is on June 26th, but that hearing is very likely not going to happen on that date. You'll get a hearing at a later date, so you need to make sure you're in touch with pretrial and with your attorney at the public defender's office so you know when to get to court. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, I do.
All right, I'm also ordering that you not return to this incident location, so don't go back to the place that you were arrested at. All right, sir, that's all. You're excused. There's nothing in. No, what? Do you know if this was a warrant? Here. Is it? It's a new charge? Huh. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. Hi, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Yeah, Andrew David Hall.
Mr. Hall, I'm seeing you this evening on a few different matters. You've got some new felony charges of tampering with physical evidence, possession of prescription-only drug, possession of drug paraphernalia. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And you've got counsel seated next to you for this evening's hearing. It's like the state is okay with you being released to pretrial services, supervision on the felony. You've got some misdemeanor warrants as well that we need to deal with. But as to the felony charges, I'll order that you be released to pretrial services. So you need to check in with them when you get out. And monitoring or treatment is directed by them, no alcohol or illegal drugs. Does the state want me to set a steps hearing?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
So, sir, it appears that you may be eligible for a drug diversion program where if you show up to court and you participate in some drug treatment, you could possibly have the felony charges dismissed. Are you interested in that?
One moment, Your Honor.
Okay. All right.
Your Honor, he's open to participation.
All right, so that steps hearing will be on June 16th at 9 o'clock in the morning. That's in Superior Court. You need to get to that hearing to find out whether or not you're eligible for that program. And counsel waive time on the PH.
Yes.
So that will be July 21st. Great. So they also separately charged the misdemeanor possession of a prescription only drug. I'm going to order release on that one. And the hearing, there will be a hearing in justice court on that on June 16th at 8:30 in the morning. And finally, we have warrants out of city court for 2020 cases, one of them being a domestic violence disorderly conduct and the other being criminal damage. I'm gonna order release on those. And you need to be in Tucson City Court on July 17th at 9:30 in the morning. So, sir, you've got 3 different court dates and 3 different courthouses before you leave the jail, but you need to get to those hearings or warrants will issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're excused.
So fair.
Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
Ben,
Mr. Jetty, I'm seeing you this evening on charges of possession of narcotic drugs and possession of drug paraphernalia. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You do have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. So, Mr. Jetty, can I see you for a second? Can you sit up? It's okay. So, sir, I just wanted to tell you that it looks like you're probably eligible for a drug diversion program where if you get to court and you participate in some drug treatment, you could have these felony drug charges dismissed before they're ever formally charged, which would be really great for you because it looks like you don't have any felonies on your record. You interested in that?
yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'm going to order that you be released to pretrial services supervision. You're going to need to check in with them, monitoring or treatment as directed. No alcohol or illegal drugs. That hearing you have to get to is on June 16th. It's in 10 days at 9 o'clock in the morning in Superior Court. Counsel waive time for the PH.
Yes.
All right, so that is July 21st. All right, that's all, sir. You're going to get paperwork with that information on it. Make sure you get to your hearing.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
Noah Massey.
Mr. Massey. I am seeing you this evening because you have a warrant. Let's see, out of another jurisdiction or jurisdictions. Let's see. This court. Okay, your warrant is out of Deming, New Mexico. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint the legal defender's office to represent you. You've got counsel seated next to you for today's hearing. The state is asking that I hold you on a no bond hold. Looks like you had been previously released to pretrial services in New Mexico. Looks like as of December 6th of 2024. And then the this criminal damage offense is alleged to have occurred on November 25th of 2024. So I don't know actually that this is a no bond, that it's appropriate for no bond.
Your Honor, I think, if I may, I suppose you might be talking to the state, but I took a look at the warrant and I think the warrant says hold without bond. So maybe the state is just they listed no bond because on release, but I don't know if that's just coming from the warrant. So I suppose I'll defer to the court. Originally, before I saw the warrant, I was going to ask for release or a low bond, but I suppose it's up to the court, obviously.
I don't think it's a no bond situation unless the state knows something that I don't.
Your Honor, I apologize. My understanding is that he was on release out of New Mexico, and in light of what everybody's saying now, I'll ask for a $10,000.
Your Honor, again, I'm asking for a release, and when I say a low bond, I mean like $100. 10,000 is quite a lot.
Well, he does have 2 criminal damage charges, felony charges, that are alleged to have occurred, it looks like 2 days in a row.
I just don't have enough information, I suppose, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Like any of us do.
I'll order a $5,000 bond, cash or secured, released at pretrial if posted. And we'll set the fugitive warrant hearing for June 11th at 2:30 in the afternoon. All right, sir, that's all. You're excused.
No one. Okay.
Hey, sir, can I get your full name?
Lorenzo Perez.
Yeah, looks like it. All right, Mr. Perez, I am seeing you this evening on a few different matters. You've got some new felony charges of theft of means of transportation, possession of dangerous drugs, possession of narcotic drugs, and possession of drug paraphernalia. And you've got some warrants out of Tucson City Court that we will deal with next. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And you've got counsel seated next to you for this evening's hearing. I have reviewed all of the information, including the state's recommendation of a $5,000 bond. I'll hear from defense.
Your Honor, he is 33 years old. It appears that any mail that was sent to him was sent to general delivery. His priors indicate, I think, to some degree, substance use disorder. I think just given the nature of the offense, particularly that he allegedly chose to swallow pills. I apologize, what? I know we had a similar matter.
Yeah.
So, yes, so just multiple unfortunate events. I just think really his inability to pay, the fact that his mail is sent to general delivery, it indicates to us that Mr. Perez is in a difficult position. I would ask for one more opportunity on release, or if that is not what the court is inclined to do, I would just ask for a low bond.
I'm going to order a $5,000 bond. It'll be cash or secured, released to pretrial if that bond is posted. Monitoring or treatment is directed. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons. Preliminary hearing date is scheduled for June 16th. Right. And then Tucson City Court matters. And there's one from 2021, one from 2023, 2 from 2024, 2 from 2025. Those are all in warrant status. On those matters, I'm going to order a $500 cash or secured bond. Appoint the city public defender's office to represent you, and you will have a video review hearing on June 13th at 1:45. If you post your bonds, you would need to get to Tucson City Court on July 9th at 9 o'clock in the morning. All right, sir, that is all. You're excused. And sir, can I get your full name?
Howard Rumpke.
All right, Mr. Runkle, let's see. I am seeing you this evening. Oh, I just put, hold on just one second. You see what I did? Let's see. Can you send that back to me? Okay. You can what? Then I'll just go back to, I'll go back to it when I see him and fix it. Okay, got it. All right, so Mr. Runkle, it looks like you've got warrants, one out of Pinal County for a felony theft. And then you've got one out of Pima County Justice Court for driving on a suspended license from November 12th, 2024, and a failure to appear. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used against you. So it looks like you had been previously released on the Pinal County matter on a bond. So, sir, what's been going on that you haven't taken care of that case?
I was I was visiting my mom in South Carolina, and I was trying to contact talking to my lawyer. There was I did 3 months in Pima County jail for some other things like that was about a year ago. And right when I got out, that's when I went to go visit my mom, and we were scheduling the next date in Pima County, Pinal County, and then we had one court date, and then I don't know if I was called or I don't know, I was unable to make next one, but we just didn't have another date scheduled. I was in the middle of changing my lawyer. I think I'm trying to address that issue up in Canal. It's just been.
Where are you living right now?
Right now, I'm staying in Tucson with my sister, but also I was helping my mom actually move in South Carolina, so I was back and forth the last couple of months.
Okay.
But it's fine. Yeah.
Well, Pinal County asked that I hold you on a $2,500 bond, so that's what I'm gonna do. It'll be cash or secured. If you post that bond, you need to make sure that you're in touch with Pinal County to get yourself a court date right away. If you don't post that bond, they'll come and get you. All right? I'm gonna release you on your justice court matter so that that can all happen and you don't have to stay here to take care of that. And so I'm releasing you on your promise to appear in Pima County Justice Court. That hearing is set on June 16th. I'm going to note that you're in custody on the Pinal County so that if you're still in custody, hopefully they'll take you to a video hearing for that. But if not, and if you end up out of custody, you need to get to that hearing or you need to let them know where you're at if you can't make it, okay?
Okay.
All right. All right, your excuse, sir.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, before we excuse Mr. Runkle, on June 16th, what time is the justice court hearing?
Oh, thank you. It's 8:30 in the morning.
Okay, and there's no like review hearing for the Pinal matter.
Yeah, we'll set a review hearing just in case, but he should be long gone by this time, but we'll set it anyhow to make sure for July 4th at 9 o'clock.
July 4th is a holiday.
No, you are correct. We still do initials. Yeah, we still do initials.
Okay, I see. Okay, thank you.
Right. Yeah.
Nice.
Hi, sir. Can I get your full name? Mr. Limon, I'm seeing you this evening on a few different matters. You've got new felony charges of resisting arrest, obstructing a criminal investigation, misconduct involving weapons, 2 counts, and disorderly conduct. Just so everybody knows, I'm not seeing probable cause on the weapons charges. They charged him with prohibited possessor, but didn't give any probable cause as to why he would be a prohibited possessor. And I also don't think that the other misconduct involving weapons that was cited under 13-3102A1A, I don't think that there is PC on that either. But nevertheless, so I'm just going to note that in the minute entry, but there's PC as to the other charges. So I'll let the state and the defense be heard on that if you'd like to when the time comes. But you, sir, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated next to you for this evening's hearing. So as to the felonies, I've reviewed all of the information, including the state's recommendation of a $7,500 bond. I'll hear from defense.
Your Honor, I wanted to address the resisting arrest. It's charged as a felony, but I just didn't see anything in the interim complaint to support probable cause for that. I'm not sure if you read something differently, but there was nothing. I mean, there's this idea that he fled, but I think it's being charged as
No, I think you're right, and I think I just missed that.
Okay. So I just wanted to note that. I am asking for release or in part, given what I've shared here, a low bond. He is 36 and a lifelong resident. He's currently unemployed. However, he does live with his mom. Pretrial services was able to connect with her and she can provide support and welcomes him home. He does not have a long list of priors, and I did want to note that his last conviction or case is 10 years old. So for those reasons, I am asking for release or a lower bond than the state's request.
And Your Honor, just to amend my request, given the lack of PC on those charges, the state would have no objection to PTS.
Okay, great. All right, sir. So I'm going to release you to pretrial services supervision. You need to check in with them when you get out. I'm ordering monitoring or treatment as directed by them. I am ordering that you possess no firearms or weapons and that you do not drive without a valid driver's license. Do you understand those orders?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. Your preliminary hearing date is scheduled for June 26th, but sir, that hearing is very likely not happening on that date. You will get a hearing at a later date. So you need to make sure that you are in touch with pretrial and with your attorney so you know when to get to court.
Okay.
All right. And then you've got a warrant out of justice court. This is for a shoplifting from 2022. So I'm going to release you on your promise to appear in justice court on that. You need to get to this hearing in justice court. This one's not going to change. It's in 10 days. It's on June 16th at 8:30 in the morning. All right.
Okay, Your Honor.
Right. That is all. You're excused.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. All right. I think that's it. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. You too.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Woo, yeah, hot in here. Like they shut off the AC on us. Yeah. That really should. Oh, there's one here. No. Good to see you. Nope. All right, let's cross our fingers for tomorrow morning. For sure. I feel like that was the busiest night I've had. Yeah. Yep. All right. Thank you.